Hey, it's your boy Jay the God, and this is Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. And we are back at Firewater Restaurant and Bar, and I am sitting here with the respected owner of the restaurant, Shawn Wheeler. How you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
Good.
And I'm told that you are not the only owner of this.
No, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
actually supposed to be the silent owner, but my mouth is too big. Ahmad is actually the owner. He owns it, and I own it.
Okay.
And we have another silent partner in DJ.
Okay.
And his brother Wasif was our general manager, but he's doing another project. So there's only two owners technically here at Firewater, Ahmad and myself.
All right. So tell us, who are you? Where did you come from? Where did you grow up?
I'm from New York, raised in Canada, and I've been down in the Charlotte area since '94, so I won't tell my age too much there. And I've been here since, hang my hat here, call it home, and I guess I call myself a Charlottean.
Okay, well, excellent. Do you have any siblings? Or?
Yeah, I have an older brother, a younger brother, I got a sister out in England.
Wow, all over the place. That's
all over the
really
place.
cool. I don't mean to come off as a hockey expert, because I'm not. But it's come to my attention that you used to play for the Checkers.
Yes, I did.
You got to tell us about that. What?
Well, I ended up here in Charlotte after some stints at the higher levels, like in the IHL and in the American League, and played a little bit. Started out in Greensboro, actually, out of college, and then played in Hampton Roads with the Admirals, and ended up here as a player assistant with John Marks, and ended up being the head coach here. But I had a playing career, I can't even remember how many years now, 4, 5, 6 years. Coached them, assistant coach for a couple years, head coach for a couple years, then they gave me the vision. And the vision is, we're going one way, you're not invited to come with us.
Okay.
That's a nice way to say you're fired. So that's my hockey background.
Okay. Did you play when you were younger? Or?
Yeah, actually, I actually started late, but
Okay.
I remember skating a little bit in New York, but we really didn't start playing until we relocated to Canada.
Okay.
And from there, everybody plays. Winter's your longest season.
Right.
And I grew up in small towns and played, and I guess I was good enough to warrant some interest from schools in the States, and I really wanted to go play school. I wanted to play hockey. I didn't want to go to school, but I realized when I went to school that I had to graduate too. So
of course.
That's how that happened. So I've been lucky.
Absolutely. What position did you play?
Left wing.
Okay. Well, now, what are the responsibilities?
Well, you go up and you patrol the left side of the ice for the most part. So it's a lot like soccer.
Okay.
If you know soccer. So I'm on the left side of the ice, and penalty kill a little bit in front of the net on the power play. That's when the other team's shorthanded. And there's a centerman, there's right winger, and everybody kind of has lanes, and there's freedom in the offensive zone, but you kind of stay in your lane in the defensive zone.
Right.
So,
kind of just like until something
actually breaks, and you cross center ice, and you kind of go your separate ways and do your little thing. Your creativity comes back, but you got to filter back into your lane.
Okay. All right. Yes. This is all new to me. Hockey is definitely not. I may have watched it once at the Winter Olympics, maybe.
That's all right, though. That's all right. You're doing all right by yourself right now.
Well, thank you. But so you said you have other partners with this establishment. So Ahmad, tell me about your relationship with him.
Well, I've known Ahmad almost 18, 20 years now, I think.
Wow.
It's been a while, and I met them through, I think it was Bentley's on 27th, and we became friends, and my real job that pays the bills is pharmaceutical sales. I work for Janssen Pharmaceutical, which is a J&J company. And over the years, we were able to do a lot of dinner programs, and I got to know those guys in a friendship role there. And then when they moved and did other establishments, they ended up out by where I live in Indian Trail, and we, I guess, reconnected, and we just stayed friends over time. And one day he asked if I'd like to consider going into business with him, and we just kind of snowballed the relationship that way.
Gotta keep.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Tell me about the grand opening when you first started out. Like, how was business for?
It was. I mean, we had a lot of things on the books, a lot of corporate things on the books, and we just kind of rolled with it. Ahmad was like, let's keep the corporate side of it. We came up with some catchy phrases like where food and fun meet. But at the end of the day, we're trying to, let's see what the area brings to us. So we've done a lot of things over time, and some things have changed, some have worked, some have not. But over time, you can see that what Firewater does is, on a corporate side, it's very attractive to businesses and business meetings, dates. And then sometimes at night you might have a DJ, you might have some music. We do a lot of private parties. There's, you know, private events. We've even done some weddings here. So what we're really trying to do now, even taking back from 5 years ago, is let the community, let the patrons tell us what they're looking for, you know, so you can still survive.
I need you to show me around.
All right, we can do that.
This place it's beautiful. I want them to see it too.
All right, let's go. We can do that.
All right.
And this is our patio. And as you come back in, you can see this is our bar area. We have a couple people sitting here with wine selections, glasses. So normally, you know, there's a bartender behind there, as you can see. So we can have, you know, people sitting at the bar itself. You can have seating at the high tops as you come through. And sometimes, I know a question was asked, do we have specials? We can have Blue Moon on special sometimes. It could be Coronas. And like you can see our selection behind the bar from our top shelf all the way across. It doesn't matter if it's scotches, whiskeys, vodkas. I'm a vodka drinker by chance. So, yes. Here's our bakery, and it's kind of set up, and we can hold large parties. You know, you can seat up to 50 in here at times if you want. As you walk into here, this is our main dining room, and we can set this up any way you want. So you can come in here and take a pan, and we have, 5, 6 booths that can sit up to 8 people. You can set it up any way anybody wants, or if it's just walk-ins. As you can see, we're starting to get ready for our dinner crowd, and everything's already set and ready to go. This is our server line, and this is basically where the magic happens. The servers are back here putting in orders. The staff is back there. You know, we can run probably 4 chefs on any given night with, you know, they have the different stations from sous to fry to salads, and then dishwashers. This is what is called our lake room, and this has got a wonderful view, and you can kind of see it even at night here, how pretty it is out there. But during the day, you know, you can see it's wide open. You can see the water over here in the university area, and this is probably one of our popular rooms, and it does have some privacy, and you're separated from the main dining room. And then outside here, that's another area that seats like 60 people. And if you go on our website, firewatercharlotte.com, you'll see a lot of the wedding receptions and how it's decorated. So we can do anything that anybody needs, and we can accommodate even in the winter months. And here's the wine selection we talked about. You can see how significant it is across the board. There's so many wines. And we have a shipment in the back that Ahmad hasn't put away yet. So these are typically really stocked.
So, Shawn, you have to tell me, what kind of food do you serve here?
We have everything from chicken wings to, you know, surf and turf.
Really?
Yeah, everything in between.
But as far as your regulars, you said you're consistent. Why do you think that is? They keep coming back, I take it.
Well, I think because, you know, if you look from an ownership standpoint, they see who the faces are, or they learn who the faces are, and they like that they can talk to somebody, I guess, in that level. But then our staff, you know, they walk around, they're friendly. You know, we talk. If it's slow, they might be at the bar talking. People come here and they walk through the door, and if you drink Glenlivet and he knows your name, it's like, hey, there you go. You know,
right. You build a rapport with people.
It is. Yeah. It almost has that Cheers feel, which is kind of corny to say in a way, but you know, when you walk through the door, you want to be recognized. So, and you want to be able to have a conversation, and you know, there's nothing really off limits. Just be respectful, and we're always here, and people have a good time. So I think that's why they come. So
when it comes to Firewater, how could you describe it in 3 words? Just 3, maybe 3.5.
I think I'm gonna use maybe 2 more than that. I would say honestly, we're food and fun meat.
Interesting.
Where we used to say that quite a bit when we first started, and we may have gotten away from it a little bit. But at the end of the day, we're food and fun meat, and that can mean at all levels. It can mean at a Bud Light level with chicken wings, or it could mean with a Merlot or a Pinot on a $40 level. And at the end of the day, when you're sitting down and you're spending your money, it's important to you, and you want to be able to have fun, and you want to eat. So that's what they mean, and that's Firewater. To me, we're food and fun meat.
Wow, I love parties, I love events, and this looks like a great venue. How do you handle that? Like how does that work out? Like how do you make a reservation?
I mean, you can go on to firewatercharlotte.com, or you can call us at 704-549-0050. And the best thing to do is ask for Ahmad.
Okay.
Because he really handles that,
Okay.
you know, that side of it. But if you want to go to the website, like I said, firewatercharlotte.com, you can look at our catering packages. You can book a reservation right there online. So you can book a party, you can ask questions, and you can set menus. It could be off the menu, it could be a set menu. You can customize it. You know, the beauty of us is that we're small enough that we don't have to ask for permission to customize a menu.
Well, you heard it here, guys. Go to firewater.com to make your reservation, and you can eat on some shrimp, because that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And, well, that's our show. It's a wrap, guys. I'm your boy Jay the God, and this is Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. See you later.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. These young women are changing the world by creating a community of women that will positively impact the lives of other women. We have Renia, McCauley, and we have Fiauna Taylor. Hi guys.
Hi. Thank you so much for having us. Yes, definitely.
So, the founders of OvercomeHer, tell me what OvercomeHer is.
So we are a band of women empowering other women to collectively change the world, and we want to be a lifestyle brand to, you know, promote positivity and uplift women personally, spiritually, and professionally.
So yes, we create events and different initiatives that bring women together and truly cultivate themselves spiritually, professionally, and personally, just like Fiauna said.
Now there's another founder that's missing. What's her name?
Tenbitio.
Yeah, so she's right now in Atlanta. And
We love you, Timby.
yeah, and so she's like continuing the OvercomeHer, so you guys will be expanding to Atlanta.
Yes,
So
that is the
congratulations
goal.
on that.
Thank you.
So what caused the birth of OvercomeHer?
So it's kind of funny, the story. We basically had already been kind of meeting every 2 weeks over the phone and talking about ways that we can hold each other accountable for different goals. And we were, you know, just like, man, I wish there was more of this in the world. I wish, you know, women would support each other more. There was more positive things. And so literally we're in the park and we're talking about this, and this girl walks up to us out of nowhere. She's like, you know what? I just wanted to stop you ladies really quick and just let you know that you all are beautiful. I feel like you all are doing amazing things, and I don't know if anybody told you this today, but I just wanted to uplift your day. And we were all like, okay, like I
sent you.
Right, this is heaven sent. Like this is what we are talking about. This is what we want to do. We literally talked with her for like I don't know how long, but it was just, you know, one of those things where it was like, this is your calling. You need to get into this, get involved, and you know, it was awesome.
Yeah, and we hit the ground running. Like
Exactly.
once the idea was planted, we met at a friend's house and literally just started brainstorming. And the name we had thought of before, which I'm sure you're about to ask us soon.
Of course.
And we'll come back to that, I guess. But the name we were about to go with was already kind of taken. And it's so funny because when you create a business or when you create a nonprofit or anything like that, it's little things like that you don't think about. And you're so excited about the idea, and then to hear, oh, that's already taken, it kind of can crush your spirit, but we didn't allow that to happen and we overcame it.
Right. We overcome her, okay?
Yeah.
And I honestly think, you know, starting a business, I feel like everyone needs to try that at least once. Even if you don't do it, I mean, but just try it because it is such a learning process. I was a creative, so I definitely, you know, got business background, you know. It's just, it was awesome. I'm just so glad we started it because I've learned so much doing it.
So who came up with the name? Like, did somebody say OvercomeHer? Like, how did that happen?
So during the planning process, we literally, like, 'cause after our name gets shot down, right?
Right.
So now we're literally thinking, okay, like, what should our name be? So we're trying all this stuff. Some things just didn't work. Some things were already taken. And then, I don't even know where it came from, but this name came to my mind, and I just said, OvercomeHer. And then everybody literally in the room was like, yes! Stop it! And honestly, I will say the meaning has evolved evolved from where, you know, because when you first choose a name, you kind of just choose it, right?
Right.
But then I think as time progressed and as we continue to build our bond, like the name has become a mindset.
Exactly.
Like it's a lifestyle right now.
Exactly.
Like you have to have a growth mindset with everything you do in this world. And I think with even doing our own organization, there's been so many obstacles. And the biggest obstacle is best friends trying to run a nonprofit, right? Like for real. But we continuously push ourselves to overcome that because we want to practice what we preach. Like we don't want to tell women you need to be out here collaborating with each other, but we can't work together. You know, so we're really big on being true to what we represent.
Why do you think it's important to be surrounded by like-minded women who are positive, passionate about bettering themselves, and also uplifting?
Well, I would definitely say it's so important because you're the average of the 5 people you are around.
The average of the 5 people you are around.
Yes, yes. So that means if you're constantly around people who drain your energy, and energy, ooh, that could be a whole nother topic. But it's so sacred, and you really have to guard it, and you have to be mindful of who you give that energy to. And so if you're giving it to people who are just sucking it from you and not replenishing you at all, then you have nothing for yourself and you can't truly grow. But when you're able to harness that energy properly and really allow yourself to put it towards things that are productive, put it around people who will help to replenish you, who will continue to help to enhance you, that's what truly brings people to that level of success. Because I think too many times we get stuck with just hanging around the same people, doing the same things and expecting different results. And that's called what? Insanity.
Exactly. So this quote that struck me, he said, "There's nothing more powerful than having a circle of women who not only come together but pray."
Oh, I posted that.
Okay. Why do you think women bonding in prayer is so important?
Because that takes it to another level.
Yes.
Right? It's one thing for women to just come together and you're using your own physical talents to get to where you want to go to. But there's certain places that you can't get to without spiritual, like,
it's vulnerability in every sense of the word. We are vulnerability. When you're praying, when you're sharing different things with your friends, your sisters, your family, anybody, you are being vulnerable in that moment, you know, and that connects you on another level. And you could, whatever level that is, you want to call it, but we call it spiritual. You know, it connects you guys, and when you have that connection with somebody, it's so much easier to work with that person. It's so much easier to understand that person's mindset, and so we always have that peace in everything we do.
That's great. Now, another quote: "Bloom where you are planted." Explain that.
So bloom where you're planted. I mean, honestly, in our generation, everyone's comparing themselves.
Exactly.
Everyone. We're seeing other people traveling. I see that a lot. People traveling, and you just say, "Oh, this person's always going this place, and I can't do this." Or someone has a great job, or whatever the case is. They might have a man, might have a woman, but we're just always comparing ourselves constantly to what we see in Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff. But I think the biggest thing about that statement is realizing wherever you are in that moment is where you're supposed to be. Exactly. And it's so important to truly grow in your space. Reach the highest capacity before you start thinking, "Oh, I need to have this, I need to be doing this." And I think, honestly, my true belief is the competitiveness amongst women doesn't just come, it's not just a random thing. It comes from envy. That's the baseline of it. We envy each other, so I can't praise you when I'm secretly feeling, you know, like, oh, I want that. Like, exactly. So I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like, once we really are aware of our envy and conscious of it, because I've done it. You know, I feel like we all experience it.
Absolutely.
But it's checking that. Like, when you feel it coming and you feel those thoughts coming, check it. So you can then get those benefits, because it's hard to really get those benefits if you're always focused on other people.
Exactly.
Now, is it too early or too late to write your own story?
I think life is a never-ending story. I feel like you might write one chapter one day and then another chapter the next day. You're always growing. I don't think anybody's story is ever over till the day that they die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could win an Academy Award and then die the next day. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You never, and you know, I'm a big believer, especially for myself, and I think for just specifically, there's other things, but as an entrepreneur, taking that branch to, if you're in a field where you're not an entrepreneur and going into that, then once you're an entrepreneur, you have so many other chapters of your life then that you're growing, and with whatever you do, it's always continuous.
Another quote that I noticed that stuck out to me was, if you do not sacrifice for what you want, what you want becomes a sacrifice. Explain that.
I think in our lives, honestly, like, people just have to prioritize, right? What is it that you want? And if you want it, what are you willing to give up?
Exactly.
And I think Beyonce is honestly, I mean, seriously, that woman can hustle, and she is a prime example of hard work. Like, and they say an overnight success usually takes 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and this woman's been in the game for 20 years, and literally
even falling down the stairs.
Yeah.
Jumping
But she
up.
doesn't sleep.
Exactly.
She doesn't sleep. She doesn't sleep, and now she's the queen bee.
Right.
You know, so it's almost like, how far are you willing to go to get to your level of success?
And that's why we have the stories that people share online too, because it's like, I research a lot of different people, you know, in the music industry, acting, all of that, and
Why do you research it?
I research it because I want to learn, you know, what people went through.
So how would someone get involved with OvercomeHer?
OvercomeHer is pretty much the name for almost everything. But we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We do have a YouTube channel now. Check us out. Subscribe so we can get 100 subscribers so we can have our own URL. And then we have www.overcomeher.org. And it's just OvercomeHer.
You guys heard it right here. Well, we'd like to thank you, ladies, for sharing this positive organization. Thank you guys for watching the show. You've seen Queen City Fame again, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. Welcome to Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. He's known as a gentleman, a Renaissance man, and a bespoke designer, Mr. Bill Evans. How are you doing?
Doing fine. Thanks for interviewing me.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for allowing us in your lovely home. Who is Bill Evans?
We're still trying to figure that one out. You gave me that question, and I really don't know the answer. I go back and think about what you want to be when you grow up. I can remember being in college, before going to college, trying to decide what you want to major in. And I used to wish that lightning would strike me in bed some night, and I knew that I wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer or something, and it just never came. So I wound up with a life where I counted it 6 different careers since the time I've gotten out of college. All of them totally unrelated to each other.
Wow.
They used, word reinvent yourself. I don't think it was that. For me, it was more like just one thing transitioned into another one because the first thing ended and I had to find something else to do, so I did the second thing.
What's a bespoke designer?
It really comes from like an English term, bespoke. It's a combination of what would be called custom made, made to measure, made to fit, probably artistic too in terms of garments that are designed from fabrics that's particularly chosen for the customer, the client. It's somewhat like a commissioned artist to be a bespoke designer. Anywhere I would have a client who wants a jacket done, a dinner jacket, let's say a tweed jacket, which I love for sporting occasions. The process would involve choosing the fabric, choosing the look, the design, with input from the client. Maybe the style, whether it's like a double-breasted or single-breasted, the length, short, the fit. Of course, I'm not much into the skinny suits right now. I still think it's more comfortable to have a little bit of extra fabric there. but it kind of incorporates all of those things.
Where do you get your style from?
You know, primarily from, well, you say a lot of study, not really, haven't been to fashion institute or schools or things like that. It's mainly studying, you know, books, magazines, fashion magazines, particularly on television too. I love old black and white movies from the 40s and 50s from England, from the United States. The overall look would probably be British inspired. I tend to like British design more so than French or Italian. Of course, I've been able to travel quite a bit. You know, when you travel, you see a lot of, particularly going to London. I've been to London probably 100 times over the years, and you know, every time I go there, I see something that inspires me in terms of a fashion look that or a fabric, or particularly tweed that I had not seen before.
Right, and exactly. And one other difference of your fashion is there's only one of a kind.
Correct.
Yes. Well, we're here and we're getting ready to see some great jackets here. This is my favorite part. Bill's going to show us a few of the items here and tell us a little bit about the fabric. So what do we have here, Bill?
Because this is one to show first. It's actually a jacket that comes from, this one from the U.S. Most of the things I get would be from England or Scotland or Ireland. This is from Pendleton Woolen Mill in Oregon. I've never seen Pendleton do this fabric before, but it's a blend of wool and Angora. Angora is a sheep, you know, in the mountains of South America, Chile and all. So it's a beautiful fabric, got a lot of fuzziness, unusual texture. I did it for a runway, and they resized it to fit a model size 2, and then I had this one really beautiful old vintage button that I'd gotten in England. The button's probably 50 or 60 years old.
Wow.
A single button doesn't seem like very much, but it can add a lot to a garment. This is one that I had done for myself. I bought the jacket in New York. I remember the place I bought it was Cheap Jack's. He's out of business now. There used to be a vintage shop in New York, right on 5th Avenue. And I would go in and look around. I think this jacket originally was made in Italy. It's a beautiful wool fabric. And I had it sized and redone to fit me, and then found these buttons.
I love these. What is that made out of?
It's made out of mother of pearl, but it's hand etched. You know, it's like a black mother of pearl hand cut buttons. Each one is just really unique and different.
Wow. That's amazing. You can see that detail.
This is going now probably to the English Scottish side. This is a lamb's wool from Scotland. A beautiful plaid fabric that I like the colors of, and I had another set of 4 buttons. Converted this jacket from single-breasted to double-breasted, and then changed the size. This is really my favorite fabric probably anywhere in the world. If you study the history of Harris tweed, it's woven just in the Isle of Skye on the north coast of Scotland under a warrant by the Queen. Is like colored by vegetable dyes from some of the plants and flowers in the Outer Hebrides, and of course it all gets registered when it's woven. Like each pattern has a number.
Oh, a number.
That's the only one there is.
Oh, wow.
This jacket I again got at that shop in New York City. Had it fitted to me. I guess I'm showing everybody things that fit me.
Exactly.
Last year you saw me use this in a runway. I did just a fashion runway.
Exactly.
It's an unusual fabric called loden cloth.
Wow. That
Loden
feels
cloth
good.
is very soft. It's also very dense and almost like waterproof. Water tends to beat up and run off of it. It's done for outerwear normally in Austria and also in Switzerland, here in the mountains. And again, I had this jacket done. It's a smaller men's size, about a 36, but I had sized down for a lady. Fits about a size 4 lady with unique buttons on it.
Yeah, I love the buttons, and I just noticed that it's like the green is at the top here, but then it's the pink at the top here.
Correct.
Love it. I love that.
To switch them around. And then this jacket on the runway, we used it almost like as a jacket, as a dress, jacket dress.
Oh.
And then the last 2 things I got would be going back to the true bespoke or custom made dress. I've got 2 dinner jackets that again I made for myself. I've used them on a runway too, believe it or not, with tall women models wearing these as dresses.
Yes.
But both are made out of furniture fabric. This one is done of a fabric called Duchess silk. It's a heavy silk drapery from Bennett Silks in London. Bennett Silks is the place where Kate got her silk to have her custom wedding gown, her royal wedding gown made.
Oh, wow.
And a great friend of mine who But here in Charlotte, sadly, she passed away a couple of years ago. Margaret Ferguson used to represent this fabric for the United States, Bennett silk. So again, I bought drapery fabric and made dinner jackets out of it.
Well, you know, that's a beautiful dinner jacket. What
And
about this one here?
This is another one I did. It is a silk, but it's a silk upholstery fabric.
And I love the texture in there.
It's,
You can see that.
It's almost like a waving, you know, shadowy type fabric, but would been used for upholstery. And in High Point, I go to a show called Showtime, where they have fabrics for all different types of furniture, mainly sold to the bigger manufacturers. Also have, you know, beads and buttons, and Swarovski Crystal came out with this collection of buttons.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Bill, so much for
Thank you.
welcoming us in your home, and thank you for joining our show. It's Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. Thank you, Bill, so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.